On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we talk about what my $1,900 Scion XB actually cost me. What is going on, guys? I'm WatchJRGo, and today we are here with my 2005 Scion XB, the first gen XB, my favorite one. I don't know if I mentioned how much I dislike the Gen 2 because of that single reverse light. What was Scion thinking when they were like, somebody just wants one reverse light in the back and it should only be on one side of the car and it should look really bad? Luckily, this is not that car. This is the much better looking Gen 1, and I'm almost done working on it. The thing is, this car keeps nickel and diming my time to death, so it's gonna be a pretty fun video today. We're gonna go to the Wizards, we're gonna go to Gabe's, we're at Josh's right now to use his garage, and we're gonna go to my house where I keep having to work on this car for hours at a time. So if you're enjoying us saving this Scion, please subscribe and make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video, and we'll go over the cost breakdown on where we're at on this right now. So let's get to work. Making good progress after a few minutes there. That's how long it takes to partially do one set of handles. And I had to get all this blue junk out of there, so the handles had to be done. You know me, we're gonna start with the easiest part first. So let me get these old handles off here that I just spent way too much time cleaning. Nice. That little blue stem is gonna stay because I don't want to take the whole thing apart just to try to clean that little part up. And there's another one, ready to go. Oh yeah, here's that one thing you guys asked me to do. Changing those blue trim panels in the back actually requires me to take everything out of the back. So before we do that, let's change the shifter. Diamond Auto Parts shipped me the entire shifter assembly. Is I haven't opened this yet. I'm opening it right here with you guys. But they said this is all of it. I mean, even the parts that I didn't need, which is the actual bushing assembly on the bottom. But that is awesome because I don't think it works very well. Wow, look at all this swag. Thanks, guys. Are these coolers? Man, you could never have enough coolers. This is cool. And pins, I was just thinking, man, I don't have enough pins. And hats? What? This is an insane amount of swag. Business cards, calendars, notepads. Let me just keep going here. What do we have? Oh, a clipboard? All right, this is actually really cool, especially since I just said I wanted to do some Copart stuff. Man, you guys really did send me one of everything. Thank you for that. Is this just packing material? You can never have enough stuff like this for when you're kneeling on a concrete floor. That's pretty cool. That's some cool packaging material. And this is the entire stock shifter. Nice. Knob, leather boot, trim, and all the plastic. Ooh-wee! And there's another one of these. I was not expecting this. There's no metal shavings in there. It's got nice like factory grease. So taking the center console out of your Scion XB, I hear there's supposed to be a screw up front, but I also lifted up on it and found that there is no screw up front, but there is one screw right back here. I'm sure it's supposed to have a cover over it. Phillips screw, which is probably the wrong one. And we've got that screw out and the console is free. So what are we dealing with here? It looks like we have 4 12s, and then we have to get the cables out, and also the cable ends are pinned in there. I need to pull that clip. I bet there's another one inside. Shouldn't be too terrible to get to. Slide these guys up and out. You also want a trim tool to pop these wiring harness clips off there. The safety clip on the side is very easy to remove. The one on the back is slightly less easy to remove here. You'll want to pry this clip apart like that, and then slide it forward. Look at that new one, it's in. The shifter cables just clip in a couple seconds, and Done. I managed to get both front clips back into our console here. There's the shift boot ring. Oh man. This runs so much better. I think we've succeeded at that. So let's see what it takes to get these guys out. It seems like it takes a lot of work. So I think we're gonna start by taking out these bottom pieces here. Taking out this tray. Definitely got a little bit of room here. Pull out all the system wiring. The upper seatbelt bolts have to come out for this job. That was almost too easy. But now I think I just have to pull these two gigantic Allen bolts, and then this should slide back just enough for me to pull these off. Hopefully I don't have to pull off the whole thing, because you have to take the seat out for that. Well, that was a little easier than I thought. Time for a new one. Much better. Factory colors. I'm officially tired now, but the whole back has been wiped down. That should snap in. We did buy that trunk mat that I talked about at the salvage yard. Don't worry, everybody was like thinking that I wasn't gonna buy this for a couple dollars. It's really nice. I did buy that. Really cool. Everything's back in where it belongs. We've got the Scion badge that still needs to go on. Those rear window switches, they're staying blue. I don't want to take the door panels apart to do that, and I'm just not gonna mess with them. There's 3 little blue accents in the interior. It looks fine. I also used the box from the shifter to box up all of those stance parts, and I'm just gonna give that guy that wants the wheels all of this. This is the mirror cap, and I've been in here scrubbing on this one for probably, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, and that's how far I've gotten. You can see there's still quite a bit of paint on there. I found that if you just use really hot water and this, you know, Harbor Freight brass brush, they're a cheap little guy, they're like $1 for 3 or something, you can just scrub that paint off the ABS plastic. Only this stuff, it's not really coming off this very well. It's actually destroying that. And I'm fighting really hard to get that clean. I think I'm just gonna throw this away because obviously I already have a new one, so I'll probably trash that too. But the mirror cap, I'm making progress. Obviously that one needs done. I had to do that for the entire A-pillar set as well. I'm so happy that we have the trim for the rear windows. Good enough. Finishing touch here. Gotta make sure everybody knows. It's kind of cool. A toaster with a can of liquid ice on it. And this is like, it's like a, it's a metallic sticker, so it looks really cool. I'll take it back off before we sell it, but I love it. Isn't that sweet? It actually has like an aluminized looking,
yeah.
I like it. At least these handles are easy. It's just 2 tins and you need something to pry the cap open real quick. So we're just using a pick because it was close at hand and ready to go. Ah, yeah. All right, so what's next? We just changed the oil. We need to reset the maintenance indicator because I don't want to have anyone changing the oil prematurely here. Sure. Okay, maintenance indicator reset. So we're gonna turn the ignition on and we're on trip. Let's go to odometer, hold the button down, turn the ignition off, turn it back on. There we've got flashing bars. And now that we've got all zeros, like go, should be good. And the light wasn't on to begin with, but now it's reset, so let's start it. I think we're good. Sweet. I'm gonna head up to the Wizards, and the Wizard is going to help us out with that exhaust real quick, because he's got a lift he can throw this on, and get us that nice weld around the exhaust pipe. Wizard! Yes. What do you think about this car?
I think the person that owned it before you was a moron.
I was trying to be nice to the guy.
Look, he's ate through the subframe.
I know. It's all folded up like a tin can.
It was a really cool car until he got a hold of it.
Yeah, unfortunate. All that scraping on the transmission.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yep. But I spent way too much. Honestly, like, I'll do okay when I sell it, I think.
Yeah.
But I went way too far into putting OEM parts on this car, and yeah, it ended up costing me quite a bit.
Wow.
It's been an adventure, actually. It was kind of cool seeing like how badly you can destroy a car. This is up there.
Yeah, they definitely destroyed it.
Well, the Wizard used his wizard strength here and just join these back together, I assume with his mind, or maybe a staff, maybe some kind of healing spell. I'm not really sure what happened there, but it looks a lot better, and I'm sure it doesn't leak anymore. So no more pop can underneath the XB, and I think we're good here. Can you believe when I got this? SRS, VSC, ABS, traction control, and check engine were permanently eliminated on the dash.
Wow,
and
like a Christmas tree.
The ad said a few lights, no faults detected. The toaster is so quiet now, really nice to drive. I'm out on the highway, headed back to Wichita, and man, what an improvement. The only thing left is all those shocks that are sitting in the back bouncing around. For those of you that are thinking, well, the Wizard probably charged you $1,000 to weld up that exhaust because, you know, that's the going rate for up-and-coming yacht owners. He did not. He needed parts for the new Brigadier, and it was he needs a power steering pump from Wichita, and he was like, if you would just run this back to Wichita and order me a replacement pump. So I ran the old parts down to Truck Parts. They've got a new pump coming for him, and what an awesome deal. So as you guys remember, I bought this as a stanced, terrible example of a Scion XB, and I've spent kind of way too much time restoring it to its former glory. And now, here we are, basically finished, and the only thing left is putting the OEM wheels and tires back on. Unfortunately, I won't get the OEM wheels and tires until October 1st, when a November 1st, I'm sorry, when a viewer is coming down to swap me out of these wheels and tires, and he's buying everything else. So I paid $1,900 for the car, as it sat originally, and then we went to LKQ and bought a bunch of stock parts. That was $101. I went to O'Reilly's and we bought all the parts, oil change, belt, I guess that's basically all we spent at O'Reilly's. That was $43. And just a few hours ago, I sold those Honda wheels that came with it that didn't fit the car at all for 50 bucks, the ones I spray painted in that one video. I was happy with that. It's honestly what they're worth to me. And it's really funny, LKQ wants $50 a wheel from Pick Your Part. So probably a good deal for somebody else. They were 13-inch Steelies. And I'm gonna get $400 for all of the stance parts and the OEM wheels as part of that deal. So if we do the math on that real fast, we'll take 1,900, add 101, add 43. We've got $2,044, and then subtract 50, and subtract 400. That means I've got $1,594 in the car. Oh, I sold the roof rack too. I should probably ship that out. Another viewer wanted that, so we'll subtract 200. That puts me at $1,394 in the car, which means I might do okay when I go to sell the car because I'm hoping to sell it for $2,500. That's not a great profit compared to the insane amount of work that went into this car, taking it back to stock, but it is something to have a little bit of fun and show you guys what stance cars look like underneath and, you know, have something to work on for a few days. I just enjoy working on cars. It's not that big of a deal if we don't make a big profit. But after this, I think we're gonna switch it up a little bit and go buy some much newer, cheap cars from Copart and have a lot of fun doing a little more body work maybe, and hopefully they already run and drive and it's just simple mechanical issues. Did I spend too much? Probably. Did it all work out in the end? Yes. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you wanna do, and I will talk to you next time. I think I'm gonna be right back in here tomorrow, engine swapping a 2010 Silverado with you know, another stock engine. So subscribe if you wanna watch some fun like that. It'll just be one episode. I just got back from the first drive with the new shifter, and this car is so much better. It's really fun to drive. The shifts are nice and clicky, and there's no like resistance when it goes in like there was with the old tall shifter. It's just 1,000 times better. So we went from this to this.